Class number 3, IELTS Writing Task 2 template, something you've all been waiting for. Today we're going to cover the most important and common types of questions, which are mainly the opinion questions. There are 4 of these, but in total, in Task 2, you have 7 types of questions. Today we're discussing the 4 most common ones, most important ones. We're going to then make a part 2 of this video, again continuing our IELTS templates that are designed to be simple. Also, they're designed to give you an 8+ bands. Also, there's some things where you can easily copy paste the words but fit in your answers naturally. And you'll see this in just a few minutes. Subscribe to make sure you get updated when I upload part 2 of this video. That's going to be for the descriptive question types. So the most common question type is either discuss both sides or give your opinion. Now, when people answer discuss both sides, what do you guys usually do? You do 2 bodies. Body 1, 2 points on your side. Body 2, 2 points on the other side. It is the most repeated and the most basic method ever. Hence, you need to change it up. You need to make it complex. I tell my students to do a 3rd body, and you still will end up with the same amount of words because we simply divide the points in 3 bodies instead of 2, but this gives you a very complex and a hyper advanced structure. Here's how you start. Some people think this, while others think this. Why do we do this here is because it is discussed both sides. So we want to show the examiner we understand that we're talking about both sides. At the same time, saying while gives you a complex sentence right away at the start, making a good first impression. Your opinion is going to start with this advanced connector nonetheless. I believe this. Give your opinion here. Now, your body 1 is going to have only 1 point supporting your opinion because you just said it, so you have to now get that mark for a flow, explain why you believe this. So on one hand, this is the benefit. You state the benefit, the pro of your opinion here. And you start the next sentence with mainly. When you say mainly, you elaborate it, but mainly is basically a connector with an ly, which is an adverb giving you more marks. Now again, in conclusion, people just say overall, therefore. You're going to say this shows. When you build it this way, you do your topic sentence. You say mainly this is the case. You do the process. And then you say this shows to give it a conclusion. It seems very natural. And the flow, the process is explained super well. Body 2 is going to be the other side. Because remember, discuss both sides. So you say on the other hand and mention the other side in 1 sentence. That's your topic sentence, elaborated by saying for instance. Now remember, we're keeping both bodies short because we have 1 point and 1 point, okay? So because of that, we're not using a concluding sentence every time, but this is not only for conserving the words. This is actually going to help you because you show the examiner that you can finish 1 body with a concluding sentence and the other body, you don't need to. You're not following a rigid formula. It's so repetitive and obvious to examiners that you're using templates when you're repeating therefore, thus, therefore, every time at the end of paragraphs. So when you finish this paragraph, make sure it sounds like a finish. Make sure you have wrapped up your point and you don't need a concluding sentence and you need to show this range to the examiner. Now in body 3, this is going to be your longest body. You're once again going to start with your opinion. With that said, with this negative thing said, with that said, I still believe this. Repeat your opinion here and then say because this. Now this is going to be 1 other point supporting your opinion. This could be finished within this sentence or you can add another sentence after this as well, depending on how much you want to explain this. Now go to the other side. You say however and now 1 point on the other side. So in total you get 4 points, just like in the 2 body format. You're simply spreading your 4 points in the 3 body format to keep it advanced, unique, and also build an awesome flow. How? Well, you had the flow here. You started with your opinion. You gave 1 point supporting your opinion. Then you said, on the other hand, 1 point on the other side. Then you say, I still believe this, my opinion, because 1 point on your side again, and then however 1 point on the other side, until you do 4 points and you have now discussed both sides. You finish off by saying, in conclusion, both sides have good point, but I'm certain that, and repeat your opinion here, followed by a suggestion, which is optional. If you have more time or words, you give a suggestion at the end related to the topic, like the government should do this, people should do this, whatever relates to the topic. That wraps up your discuss both sides. Simple and easy to use and highly effective. Let's talk about direct questions. These are questions where you're being asked 2 questions. For example, deforestation is being done all around the world. Question number 1, what is deforestation? Question number 2, do you support it or not? 2 questions are called direct question. Now here, you still have to give an opinion, because as I gave that sample in my example where I'm saying in the second question they might ask you, do you support it or not? So that happens a lot. One of the 2 questions is going to ask you your opinion. So you start with your general sentence, considering the topic of this, it is this. So considering the topic of deforestation, it is certainly widespread around the world these days. Now, when you do this, you're using considering to start, and that gives you a complex sentence starter. Right away, good first impression. Now, again, you don't want to copy the same basic words like I think or I believe. Here, you're going to say I'm of the opinion that, give your opinion here. Body 1 is usually going to answer that question, which is not that complicated, which in this case would be, like in my imaginary example, what is deforestation? So I would start with to begin, really appropriate for a question like this, where in body 1 you're usually explaining a theory. To begin, deforestation is basically this. It is done because of this reason. Likewise, this is what it leads to. Now, likewise, I put this in brackets because it depends if you need to use it. Like if you're elaborating further, it's a good advanced connector to use. But if you're not using it, it's totally fine. Therefore, would finish off that paragraph. That would be the concluding sentence there. Now, body 2 is going to start with one reason for this is this. And body 3 is going to be another reason is this, and then your example. So the reasons are going to depend on your question type and also the opinion you have. So again, in my imaginary question, if I'm answering the second question here, do I support deforestation or not, then I was not going to be in support. So I would say one reason for me not supporting that is the environmental consequences. These are the consequences, and I would explain them. Another reason for me not supporting that is the animal life or habitats that are ruined. And then I would give an example. For example, when deforestation is done, this is what happens to animals. They die, they lose their habitat, and so on. So this is going to depend on that second question and also your opinion. It should be in line with that. Basically, one of the questions gets 2 bodies and one of the questions gets 1 body. So that's how you split your 3 bodies depending on which question needs more elaboration, and you are the one who is going to decide that. There's no hard and fast rule behind that. In conclusion, I'm certain that, repeat your opinion here, and now this is your suggestion sentence. It starts with if, so that you get your mark for the complex sentence. If da-da-da, then da-da-da. So if the world starts to do this, then this would be the result. So that's your way of saying the world should basically do this. Question number 3, opinion, which is simple. Do you agree or disagree? What is your opinion? What do you think? In these kinds of questions, you need 4 paragraphs. Intro starts with, while some people think that, mention one side here, then I believe, and then your opinion. Simple. And this covers the general sentence already, and it also starts with while, which is a complex sentence starter. Body 1 is going to just be one reason. You don't need to give more reasons. Body 1 is just one reason supporting your opinion, and body 2 is the other reason supporting your opinion. A major mistake students make here is they support the other side in body 2. The question is not asking you to do that. It's not discuss both sides. It's your opinion question. Stick to one side only in both bodies and 1 point per body. One reason behind this is the fact that and just mention that in the topic sentence, explain it later with for example. Concluding sentence is going to be thereby. Another reason is that's your topic sentence. What's more is going to elaborate that point further. It's an advanced connector. Consequently, it's going to be your concluding sentence. It is different than thereby. It also is an adverb, which gives you marks. In conclusion, I still stand firm by my opinion that, mention the opinion here, and then give reasoning if you have more time or words. So you would say, I stand firm by my opinion that deforestation should not be done as it directly harms wildlife as well as the environment. So I put this in brackets again because it is optional. If you can do this, it's good. If no, don't sweat it. 4 paragraphs, we're done with our second last question type. We're now going to talk about our last question type. Advantages versus disadvantages, but which is more? By this I mean the question is going to ask you, do the advantages outweigh the disadvantages of something? That's a common question that you must have seen. This is not a descriptive question like, what are the advantages and disadvantages? It's supposed to be done differently. When the question asks you if one thing outweighs the other, you have to give an opinion. So first, you're going to start with a general sentence. Something, whatever the topic is, has caused considerable debate. So you rephrase the question. Now you give your opinion. You say, I believe the disadvantages or the advantages are stronger because, and here you give brief reasons. Now let's say you said that something is disadvantageous, like that was your opinion, it has more cons than pros. So because you're focusing on disadvantages, you want to give 2 bodies to disadvantages and just 1 body to the advantages, because that is your opinion. So body 1 is going to talk about the other side that you didn't pick, which is the advantage. Although deforestation is mostly harmful, it helps by creating jobs for people. Considering that it allows people with construction backgrounds or with engineering insight, they are going to be able to go in forests and destroy them, and then you explain this. Considering is a complex sentence starter too, giving you more marks. So you explain one side here on the topic you have not selected. Your topic was disadvantages, but you have to explain advantages here because this is still advantages outweigh disadvantages or vice versa. Then in body 2, you talk about your side. You say, however, one big issue, you're negative. Your chosen opinion was negative. So you say one big issue with regards to deforestation is that this is point number 1. For instance, we'll explain it. Another problem is, mention this in the topic sentence of body 3, and then you explain it starting with given that. Given that, da-da-da, and then da-da-da. It's a complex sentence starter. In conclusion, something, whatever the opinion is simply stronger. So my opinion regarding deforestation having more cons is simply stronger due to the fact that it leads to whatever. This is you basically rephrasing your opinion in a fancy way. And then your conclusion. If the world's governments or people start to do this, it can help us improve this. That wraps up the 4th question, but we got 3 more to go. Those are the descriptive questions. If you liked this video, please like, share, and make sure to subscribe so you get notified about that next video where we will wrap up Task 2 in its entirety. And if you want to seriously improve your IELTS preparation, we have hours and hours of these lessons. Our groups are doing fantastic and our students never fail. If they do, it's all their money back. If you want more information on how you can access these services, check out the links in the description and we'll give you a free assessment. We'll give you our material, we'll train you and ensure that you are successful in your IELTS exam. I'll talk to you very soon. Take care.